Welcome everyone. I just wanted to let you know that we're going to get started in a minute or so. Just letting people get logged in. My name is KC Gleaton. That's KC like Kansas City. And I figured I'd let you know that we will be getting started in just a few moments. Now, the important thing to remember as part of this, as we're waiting for people to get logged in, we have a few more people, looks like, that are getting on. Uh, Wanted to make sure that you recognize that even though this is very simple, I mean, there's very simple stuff that we're talking about here. I want you to understand that it's also extremely powerful. Now, it may be simple. You may look at it and say there's quite a bit of simplicity involved in what I'm saying, but just understand that it's also extremely, extremely powerful. Okay, so let's go ahead and get rolling. A couple of logistics to start. Now, I'm going to send you a link to the recording of this presentation, so there's no need to take like intense notes. Obviously, feel free to take notes, but no need to take like real intense notes. Also, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat box, and I'll address them at the end. Okay? Okay, hello again, everybody. This is KC Gleaton from Medical Lead Systems, and today I've got the great pleasure of talking with you about three surefire ways to ignite growth in your practice in the next year, regardless of whether the economy is booming or bust. Doesn't matter. We'll make sure that you learn information that can help you build your business. Now, we've got a lot of great content to cover today, so let's get right to it if we can. All right, now the first thing that people ask me is, are there only three? Well, yeah, you may be surprised that this presentation is limited to only three ways to spur growth in your practice, but as it happens, there are only three ways for a business to grow, seriously, and it's only three. Now, before I introduce the three ways, let me first introduce myself. First of all, and this goes without saying, I don't know everything about growing a business, but I have had a lot of experience starting and helping companies grow, and I've been fortunate enough to have some of my significant successes in my career show up in national publications, basically for my tips, tricks, and techniques, particularly in the area of marketing automation. Now, the last business I had sold and made me a handsome profit, and so now I go around talking about marketing automation to groups of people like yourself. Now, marketing automation customizes your marketing efforts to the recipient while automating the process and increasing effectiveness. It basically is the system I used to triple my business's income in the last year, and now I'm bringing this expertise to medical practices like yours. So if you're wondering why you should listen to me, you can take it for what it's worth. I've also made a bunch of mistakes, and I suppose that gives me a certain kind of credibility too. The other thing I have going for me is this. I love, love, love business. And anyone who knows me knows that I think about, read about, talk about businesses all the time. I dream about it. I probably talk about it in my sleep. Well, I wouldn't know that I do, but I probably do. So that's a little bit about me, but you're not here to learn my biography. You're here to learn the secrets to explosive growth in your practice over the next year. So let's get back to the subject at hand. Now, there are three fundamental ways that you can grow your practice, no more, no less. Method number one, get more patients. Okay, you got to get more patients. That seems obvious, right? But if you want to grow, you need more patients. Now, method number two, get your patients to buy more often. Don't worry, I'm not going to get or should I say, I'm going to get into greater detail in terms of how you can do these things, but for now, the concept is what's important. If a typical patient buys from you once a month, you can literally double the size of your business just by getting them to buy twice per month. Makes sense, right? Okay. Method number three, get patients to spend more per transaction. If a typical patient purchase is $5 per transaction at your practice, how can you get that to $6? Very important question, and I need you to think about that. Okay, take a moment to think about that. How can you get it to $6? Extremely important. Now, you're probably thinking that those were very basic. And as I mentioned at the top of this, it is basic, but it's extremely powerful. All right? Please don't overlook them just because they're simple. There's real power in their simplicity. So let me walk you through an example. Let's say your practice has 100 patients and they buy on average 5 items from you, and the average value of those transactions is $10. That would mean that you have a practice doing $5,000 in revenue, right? Now, let's just bump these numbers up by 20%. You focus on these areas and you bump the numbers up by 20%. So now you have $120 patients. You have 6 transactions on average. Now let's say that you focus on each of these areas and you're able to achieve a 20% achievement in each. Okay, so you increase by 20%. So now you have $120 patients, 6 transactions on average, and an average sale price per transaction of $12. The total revenues for your businesses, for your practice, has now jumped to $8,640. Now, the important thing here to remember is that this is a 73% increase just by improving 20% in each of these 3 key areas. That's the power of compounding. By making improvements in each of the 3 key areas, you are now achieving accelerated business growth. Extremely, extremely important. Simple, but important. Now, I first learned about this concept many years ago from a gentleman by the name of Jay Abraham, who is considered to be one of the foremost experts on business growth. If you've never attended one of his presentations or read any of his books, I highly suggest you do. Again, his name is Jay Abraham. Unfortunately, most people's reaction when I hear these 3 things is, duh, that's so obvious, or something like that, and they dismiss the idea because of its simplicity. I don't want you to make that mistake. If you're looking for 3 hard ways to grow your practice, well, I'm sure you can come up with something. You're just not going to get it from me. I like to do things the easy way, and this is it. So I suggest you sit down, take a moment, and get ready to hear more about easy ways to build your business. Now, I hope you realize that just about every practice has the opportunity to improve in these 3 key areas. Never in my career have I come across a practice, or any kind of business for that matter, that was maximizing each of these 3 opportunities, not even mine. So please keep an open mind and stick with me. The next question you're asking is, why? Okay, smart guy, how exactly do I do any of these things? Well, let's get into that. Just like the 3 ways to grow are so powerful because of their simplicity, I found that there are certain things that practices can do in each of these 3 key areas that are relatively simple, yet yield outstanding results. Let's jump into those now. Let's start with strategy number 1, get more customers. You can easily do this by driving more inbound traffic to your website. And by inbound traffic, I mean qualified prospects who either need or want what you have to sell and are actively pursuing it. Okay? Let's make sure that we are clear. They are actively pursuing what you are selling. Okay? Now again, I specifically say your website because, well, I say your website versus your office or having them call you because I believe that in today's day and age, most consumers start the buying process by visiting a practice's website to get more information. That's where they're going to go first. They're going to get information there rather than calling you to get information or coming to your office to get information. So how do you drive more traffic to your website? You leverage proven, trackable forms of internet marketing like SEO, email campaigns, social media, mobile marketing, and combine them with local marketing strategies and marketing automation. So let's start with SEO, or search engine optimization. Search engine optimization is the process of improving the visibility of a website or a web page in search engines via unpaid, which are also called natural or organic search results. Now, a lot of people don't know exactly what I mean when I say natural or organic search results. Well, let me show you a screenshot to show you exactly what I mean. Here's a search engine results page, SERP, also known as a SERP, and you can see by the arrows that I've drawn up here that the paid or sponsored listings are at the top and the right sidebar in red. The organic results are on the left in blue, and the organic local, or just the local results, are directly below them on the left in green. Green is important. It's important that you understand the difference. The sponsor results in red have been paid for by someone. These are paid advertisements that cost your competition money to show up there. We can get your practice there if you want it, but it would be very expensive, and the research shows that while it is effective, okay, I'm not knocking it, it is effective, it's just not as effective as high organic or local results. Now, the local results in blue are the results that Google believes are the best match for the search term you typed into your browser search bar. Nobody can pay to be here. These results are pretty much the same nationwide, so to rank high on these results, you must compete with other businesses nationwide. The local results in green use the same keywords as the organic results, but apply these to local results. Notice the local addresses and phone numbers. So your competition is other businesses in your local area, your actual competition, making it easier to rank higher in the local search results. So because your competition isn't as stiff, it's easier to rank higher in the local results and therefore be able to use the local results to help you build your business. The other important things is that they're also displayed more prominently and will be different based on your location when you start the search. So in other words, if you started the search as I did here in Montclair, New Jersey, you'll have these listings. If you started the search in Jacksonville, Florida, then you'll have different results in this local area. Very important to understand. Okay? The organic and local results are what we're trying to impact with SEO. We're trying to get your site to rank highly for the specific keywords that you're targeting, and then drive this traffic to your website and convert them into patients. Let me say that again. We're trying to get your site to rank highly for the specific keywords that you're targeting, and then drive this traffic to your site and convert them into patients. Very important. So why focus on SEO? The stats on this slide should help explain its importance. As you can see, everyone and their mother is online, and most people start each web browsing session with a search engine called Google, Bing, or Yahoo, one of the big three. There are over 2 billion people online. 93% of online experiences begin with a search engine search. And the majority of web traffic is driven by the big three search engines called Google, Bing, and Yahoo. Now, you probably know a lot of that because you've used them, but you have to go through everything so that you fully understand and that we cover everything. Now, the important thing here is that 77% of searchers choose organic over paid listings. Now, once again, let me say that again. 77% of searchers choose organic over paid listings. That's why the paid listings were in red and the organic searches were in green. Another thing to note is that 67% choose organic search results when purchasing. Again, 67% choose organic search results when they're purchasing. That is why organic click-through rates generate 25% higher sale conversions than PPC ads. Let me say that again. Organic click-throughs generates 25% higher sale conversions than PPC ads. And finally, SEO leads have a 14.6% close rate. That's about 15%. While outbound leads such as direct mail, print advertising have only a 1.7% close rate. So let me put this in perspective. If I had 100 leads that came to me via the internet, 15 of them will close. Whereas if I picked up the phone and I called 100 people, only 2 of them would close. A little less than 2 of them would close. Do you see the difference? Huge difference. I mean, we're talking orders of magnitude difference. The next is email marketing. Email marketing is often overlooked because they don't want to be known as spammers. Practices like yours just don't want to be known as spammers. Well, I'm not advocating that you spam everyone, but I am insisting that email marketing is a tool that every practice should use to grow their business. As a matter of fact, it's the most cost-effective inbound marketing channel that exists. And according to I had a little buzz there. I don't know what that was. Okay, but according to direct marketing, next is email marketing. Email marketing is often overlooked by businesses because they don't want to be known as spammers. Well, I'm not advocating that you spam anyone, but I am insisting that email marketing is a tool that every practice should use to grow their business. As a matter of fact, it's the most cost-effective marketing channel that exists. According to the Direct Marketing Association, email returns over $40 per every $1 invested. Let me say that again. $40 for every $1 invested. Where else can you get that kind of return? That means that done properly and by adhering to the unwritten rules of adding value in every email and being respectful of your audience's time and cluttered inbox, you will be welcome and your prospects will help you drive new patient growth. Okay? The next is social media marketing. Of course, you've heard a lot about social media, and there's good reason for that. Social media marketing is one of the most important business trends of our lifetime, and it presents amazing opportunities for you to get new customers. In fact, your potential patients now expect that you'll have a social media presence to engage with. And if you fall short of their expectations, they'll be more likely to spend their money with the other guy down the street. In fact, Group M states when consumers were exposed to both search and social media influence by a brand, that overall search click-through rate went up by 94%. Okay, let me say that again. When consumers are exposed to both your website and your social media page, the overall click-through rate went up by almost 100%. Now, you look at these stats. Buyers want to interact with brands on social media sites. You can either join the conversation or let your competitors do all the talking. It's really up to you. More important to mention, though, is that buyers reward brands that have a presence on a variety of social networks. So if you haven't already, it's time to really engage in a social media strategy for your business. Very, very important. Now, the next is mobile marketing. Mobile marketing is a set of marketing practices that enables organizations to communicate and engage with their audience in an interactive and relevant manner through any mobile device or network. And ready or not, the world has become mobile. The growth of mobile has been breathtaking. For example, location-based marketing. Marketing that is targeted to an audience based on a specific location is projected to grow to a $6 billion business in 2015, and that's from $0 in 2009. So again, from zero to $6 billion in less than 6 years. The popularity of mobile marketing is fueled by two things: buyer habits, which we've already talked about, and equally important, results. Results are very important. Practices that have adopted mobile marketing strategies are seeing mind-blowing results and response rates. According to a study commissioned by Burrell Associates, some local businesses, particularly restaurants, are seeing 65% redemption rates for real-time geo-targeted ads. Very important. 65% redemption rates for real-time geo-targeted ads. Now, these offers have to be perfectly timed and tailored to their wants and needs using cutting-edge technology, but imagine having 65% of your prospects respond to your marketing campaigns. That absolutely blows away any other form of advertising. Now, additionally, according to the research from MobiThinking.com, mobile ad spending worldwide is predicted to reach $20.6 billion in 2015. And as you can see in the chart, there are over 234 billion, and that's with a B, mobile advertising impressions in the fourth quarter of 2011 alone. That's a huge number, and it's growing at an astronomical rate. Mobile advertising like this is taking off like a rocket, and it's time for you to get your practice on board. Now, here's another way to increase your customer base. Improve the effectiveness of your promotional efforts. If you're spending all of your time and energy on marketing, you had better make sure that your ads are actually working and that you're constantly trying to improve them. And how do you do that exactly? You get in touch with your inner bean counter. You know, the one that always wants to know everything, but just doesn't have the time to find out. You need to get cozy with Google Analytics and other types of analytic programs that give you information to help you understand your marketplace. The beauty of online marketing is that everything can be tracked and measured, which means that you can constantly perform small tests to see what works out best. So take out a magnifying glass and sort through the reporting from your last small email campaign or ad campaign and learn from the data and find something to test and improve upon. This should be a continuous process at your business, a continuous process throughout your practice. Not just you, but everyone should find different ways to be able to continue that effort. Alternatively, you can find new channels and methods through which to promote your business. You can explore this social media thing, or you can get up an email marketing account with Aweber or Constant Contact. But have you ever heard of marketing automation? I know I mentioned it earlier, but it's a method of tracking and monitoring each and every action that your prospects are taking and using that information to determine the direction of your marketing for that prospect. It also allows you to customize your interactions with prospects based on what they want, so it makes your marketing efforts up to 20 times more effective. Let me say that again, up to 20 times more effective. This is the same system I used to triple my business income in less than a year, and you can use it too. There are new marketing channels being developed each day, some with explosive potential. You should set aside a little time and budget for exploration and experimentation of some of these methods. Now, alternatively, you can find new channels and methods through which to promote your business. You can explore this social media thing, or you can set up an email marketing account with like Aweber or Constant Contact or something like that. But have you ever heard of marketing automation? It's a method of tracking and monitoring each and every transaction or action that your prospects are taking online and using that information to determine the direction of your marketing to that prospect. Basically, customizing your marketing to that prospect and what they desire. Obviously, it'll make things a lot more effective and efficient, and it just makes you more than 20 times more effective. It makes your marketing more than 20 times more effective. Now, this is the same system I used to triple my business's income in less than a year, and you can use it too. There are new marketing channels that are being developed each day, some with explosive potential. And you should set aside a little time and budget for exploration and experimentation of some of these methods. Next, you want to create stronger, more targeted offers that appeal to more people in your market and base your offerings on their readiness. Again, this goes hand in hand with marketing automation. Once you know that people have taken specific actions, then you can begin offering them certain things. And that's how you automate the marketing process to make sure that you're doing things that people want you to do. Extremely important and extremely effective. We usually tend to stick with what we know, which means that our offers can usually get a bit stale. Use technology to understand what your customers are thinking based on their actions and present them with timely and time-sensitive offers based on their wants. Remember, people don't buy what they need. They overwhelmingly buy what they want. So it's up to you to determine their wants. If you don't have the technology available to you, gather your smartest employees and maybe even some of your best patients and brainstorm new and improved offers that will get a better response from your target market. Next, remove the risk associated with buying from you. Anytime a patient goes to make a purchase, they're consciously or subconsciously weighing the risk versus reward factors in their mind. If the perceived risk is higher than the reward, then they won't buy. It's that simple. Carefully look at the way you're marketing your offers. Are you reducing the risk associated with buying from you as much as possible? The best way to do this is to stand behind your products or services with strong guarantees. The final strategy I want to share with you for growing your patients, which almost all businesses can take advantage of, medical practice in particular, is to grow your reputation as an expert. If all other things are equal, people will buy from the person they believe to be the greatest expert. So, how will you build your reputation as an expert? It's about creating and sharing content that displays your knowledge and experience. Webinars like the one that you're on right now, they're a great way to do this. They're inexpensive to produce, easy to deliver, and can be delivered to a massive audience. Another great way to build your reputation as an expert is to send a regular newsletter to your customers, patients, and prospects. Every practice should send a regular newsletter. And finally, create educational or training videos and downloads that your prospective patients and customers can access from your website. Video in particular is an amazingly cheap, easy, and effective way to reach a massive audience. Video consumption online is soaring, so you just have to make sure your videos rank high on the search engine so that your potential patients will of course see them. Now, the next the next thing that we can do, the second way to grow your business, is getting your patients to buy more often. The most important first step you can take here is to make it an absolute priority to build your list. Now, I'm always shocked to see that most practices spend little to no effort building their customer email and mailing list, when this is probably the single most valuable thing that you can do in your practice. Now, marketing legend Dan Kennedy says that customers generally don't stop buying from you because they are unhappy with your products or services, but rather because they have forgotten about you. It's the greatest marketing sin to be unforgettable or to be forgettable. But if you don't have a list, you can't easily get in touch with people to remind them of your existence. So make sure that you follow through and that you create your list and that you allow that to grow. The next thing is to send out promotional emails and make sure that when you do, you send them out as often as possible. You got to send emails on a consistent basis. It's very important. Make sure that they know that you're out there. Make sure that they see you and hear you. And make sure that you let them know that you have other promotional messages and other things coming. Give them something to look forward to. Very important. Make sure that you let them know that something's happening next month or next week, but let them know today. But do that so that they remain interested. Also, you can use scarcity. That is really just basically saying that there's limited time or quantity to your offers. When you say it, you have to mean it, but that helps to get patients to open up their wallets and more easily and frequently purchase your products and services. As you can see in this ad, the offer is a deep discount, but for one day only. Scarcity like this drives sales. Don't let them forget you. Here's some other ideas you can use to take advantage of to stay top of mind. Set up a sequence of autoresponder emails so that you're always staying in touch on autopilot. And that's what they know. They know that they're always going to get something from you. They know all about you because you've said everything in your emails. That's what you want. You want autoresponders to automatically send these things so that you don't have a problem and it's not something that you have to do on a consistent basis. Autoresponders are one of the most powerful and underutilized tools a small business can use to grow their business. You can write the email sequence once, put it on autopilot, and know that you're following up with all your customers and prospects on a consistent basis. That is basically marketing automation. Make sure to broadcast your message through every available channel, not just one or two. Some people only look at Facebook once a month, others look at email every hour. Make sure to use a variety of channels to make sure that you're not missing anyone. Send out birthday and holiday cards to your prospects and customers. Old school tactics like this are even more appreciated in today's digital world. Focus on service. Focus on service. Okay? I'd like to make sure that you know that that is one of the most important things. If you can provide people with good service, they will always, always give you an opportunity to do business with them. Unfortunately, service is a lost art in today's business world. How many times have you gone to a restaurant or gone somewhere only to be disappointed by the service that you received? Well, make sure that your practice is not like that. Make sure your practice is completely different. All right? Since you know that it's a lost art in this culture, you can easily stand out head and shoulders above any of the competition because you are going to provide the service that they won't. And when you do, be sure to capture testimonials from your happy customers and share them with the world. Testimonials are a form of social proof that make it easier for people to buy from you. They get more comfortable once they see them, and they buy more easily. Very, very important. I think great service and great testimonials are the cheapest form of marketing and maybe the most effective. Okay, the last major strategy. Get customers to spend more with you per transaction. How do you do this? You upsell, cross-sell, and bundle your products and services in order to get people to spend more. We've all seen this in action, right? Do you want fries with that order? You know, would you like to supersize your meal today? These are all classic cross-sells and upsell techniques that should be used in every business. But how can you incorporate them in your practice? Here's how. Bundle your products or services together and give a discount for purchasing them that way. Who's the master at this? If you've ever been to a Costco, you know that you can't buy one of anything. The way they can offer such low prices is by getting everyone to buy in bulk. You're getting a deal, but you're spending a lot more per transaction to get it. Very powerful stuff. Once again, you're getting a great deal, but you're spending a lot more per transaction to get it. Okay? Very powerful. And it's something that you can use in your business. Another powerful strategy that we're all familiar with is using coupons that only apply once a customer has reached a certain spending threshold. As seen here from Nike, save 20%, but only on purchases over $125 or more. You have any thought on how you can use this in your practice? I'm sure there's something that you can do. And finally, every business should have a high-priced, premium version of their products or services or offerings that they offer a payment plan for. Okay? A premium version of their products and services. Selling just a handful of really premium priced products can do wonders for your profitability. And there's always a segment of customers that actually wants to spend more to make sure that they're getting the best. Don't deny them the opportunity. To close out this presentation, I'm going to leave you with some tips that have worked for me in my career as an entrepreneur. Okay, this one has been huge for me. I've always been a big believer in the power of technology to make businesses more efficient and more profitable. I mentioned before that I was able to triple my business income by employing marketing automation systems that made us more efficient and effective in our marketing efforts. Small businesses and practices in particular need to look for every advantage to save time, cut costs, and get more done with every hour of the day. That's exactly what technology can do for you. So make sure you take advantage of all of the great tools that are out there. Okay, so maybe it's a bit hokey, but this expression has always helped me put things in perspective. How do you eat a whale? One bite at a time. Building or growing a business in a long-term process. It's really a long-term process. It's all about taking a bunch of small bites, one by one. Pick one or two things that we discussed today and get started now, and don't quit. Role models have helped me in some ways, many ways. I couldn't possibly count the ways, as a matter of fact. So what I'd say to you is make sure that you make sure that you find role models and take advantage of them. Find them. They're easy to find, and most, if not all, okay, maybe it's a bit hokey, but this expression has always helped me put things in perspective. How do you eat a whale? One bite at a time. Building and growing a business is a long-term process. It's all about taking a bunch of small bites. Pick one or two things, get started today, and don't quit. Remember also that role models have helped me in so many different ways. They can help you take a bite once in a while from, or remove a couple of bites from this whale that you're trying to eat. I can't stress enough the value of role models. Find them. They're easy to find, and most, if not all, will be gratified at your request for guidance. And even if you don't establish a personal relationship with someone, you can still be on the lookout for practices that are doing a great job executing these strategies. Learn from them, emulate them. And lastly, one of the most important lessons I've learned, again, to keep things simple, is to break down how I view my business into three phases. I learned this one from Dean Jackson, another marketing legend. He teaches to think of your business in terms of what happens before a customer buys, during the process of consuming your product or service, and then after they are done with your product or service. If you think about your business in these three phases, it'll change the way that you see things. It becomes quite easy to look for the most important patient interactions in each of these phases and optimize the heck out of them. Always look for great ways to improve these three areas. Your business will grow. Lastly, one of the most important lessons I've learned, again, is to keep things simple, is to break down how I view my business into three phases. I learned this one from Dean Jackson, another marketing legend. He teaches to think of your business in terms of what happens before a customer buys, during the process of consuming your product or service, and then after they are done with your product or service. Now, if you think about your businesses in these three phases, it becomes quite easy to look for the most important patient interactions in each phase and optimize the heck out of them. Always look for ways to improve in these three areas, and your business will grow. Now, I can tell you, we've made it. This is the end of the presentation, and I hope it's been very helpful. And I really appreciate the time that you took out of your busy schedule to be here with me today. Please take what you've learned and apply one thing today, one thing tomorrow, and don't stop until your business is taking off like a rocket. I guarantee you can find some way to improve each of these three keys to growth by at least 20%. Now, if you do run into some difficulty, I just want to let you know that I am available. Medical Lead Systems and myself is available to help. Okay? Just give us a call, and if there's anything that we can do, we'd be more than happy to help. We're here to provide you with information, but also let you know that there are resources out there. So give us a call if there's something that we can do to assist you, guide you. It doesn't cost anything, but we'd love to talk with you. Now, we're going to open it up for questions. So I'm going to let you go, and let's fire away. I'm ready to take a couple of questions from some of you. So let me take a look at some of the things that we have here. Okay, we made it, everybody. That's the end of the presentation. I hope it's been helpful, and I really appreciate the time you took out of your busy schedule to be here with me today. Please take what you've learned and apply at least one thing today, one thing tomorrow, and don't stop until your business is taking off like a rocket. I guarantee you can find a way to improve each of the three key areas of growth by at least 20%. Now, what we're going to do is open this, this webinar up for questions. If you have questions, I'd love to be able to answer them for you. If you have not filled out a question in the box, please do so now. What I'm going to do is go through and pick out some of the questions, some of the ones that are, I guess, most representative of the things that we're trying to do here, and let's see if we can answer some of those questions. Okay? Once again, I appreciate the time that you spent with us, and if you wanted to leave us now probably is the time. If you didn't want to stick around for the Q&A session, now is probably the time. However, if you have questions about any of this stuff before you go, let me tell you to give us a call. At Medical Lead Systems, we have spent a lot of time trying to help doctors and their patients connect with each other. And we have a couple of really great ways of being able to do that. So if you have questions, you're looking for things that you might be able to do, please give us a call or reach out for us via email so that we can talk to you in greater detail. Once again, thanks again, and I appreciate it. Now we're off to our questions.